Hello, everyone. This is Kaiju Storm, and we have here Geekroom Life, and we're going to be talking about the Halloween franchise all the way from 78 to 2021. And hope you guys love it and enjoy. So, Steven, what are your thoughts about Halloween 1, 1978?
It's an immortal classic. There's not a lot that needs to be said that hasn't already been said, but I love it. If it's between Texas Chainsaw Massacre and Suspiria, it is tied for my favorite movie of all time. Uh, I remember I got it at the library the first time I saw it, and it blew my mind. The intro came on, and I'm like, I don't even want to watch anymore. Like, I don't know if I was scared. I won't want to say that, but I'm like, I was just running around the house like I was breathless, like, oh my God, and the movie really hadn't even started yet. So I was probably 10 at the time. So when did you first see The Mighty Halloween?
The funny thing is, when I was watching Halloween 1978, I was watching it it was on cable, and my parents were cooking dinner, and I was trying to watch the film without getting distracted, but it got interrupted when my mom caught me on, so I couldn't watch the whole thing. But I was so intrigued with the beginning of the film. It was a very simplicity film, well crafted film, not a masterpiece, but a well crafted film, and yeah, it just not too much gore, and I loved it. That was the spookiness of it. And yeah, I saw it on cable, but then I was able to watch it again, and when it was on demand. So yeah, good times, man.
Very tight knit. Only focused on those two characters, and I think that helped. And of course, the music helped. I don't know if you've ever seen the special feature where they play like 5 minutes of the movie with no sound at all. And I'm like, the sound is like 70% of what makes that movie that movie.
Yeah,
which I'm not knocking it at all. I'm just saying, the sound plays a big factor in that movie.
definitely. The music, the composer John Carpenter did a fantastic job with the music. Very simple, very
John does great every soundtrack. There's like a lot of his movies that I'm not giant fans of. I mean, they're good, but and I'll still listen to the soundtracks of them.
Yeah, definitely. It's a good music vibe, and it's very scary when you hear it. It works very well with the character. And yeah, I always love that music, like the piano theme, and like it gives you what you need to for Halloween season, pretty much, and that's what I like about it. Yeah, those are my thoughts for the 78 so far. I know
Did you ever watch the TV cut at all, where they gave him a middle name and his sister a middle name and all that stuff?
I do believe that was the one I was watching in the beginning on the TV film cable. So that you remember the birthday and all that.
Yeah. Like I think that's when they also gave Michael his birthday, like October 19th. I'm pretty sure that was it. Yeah.
Yeah.
The coolest scene, I guess, in the TV cut would be where Dr. Loomis comes in and says, "Michael, you fooled him. You fooled him again." And it's got the little boy, because you can clearly tell these scenes are cut while they're making Halloween 2.
Yeah.
And then it's got where he rushes in and he's done broke out. Like, this is after all the people were wondering at night and everything. And so the next day he comes in before he leaves to go to Haddonfield, and Sister's written on the back of the door. And I'm sitting here thinking, if you hadn't seen Halloween 2 yet, is that a spoiler for 2? Or was that him just writing Sister like he killed his sister back in, the day? And that always confused me. Like, if you didn't know Halloween 2 and saw Halloween 2, you'd be like, oh man, they might have spoiled that.
Yeah. It's I guess it's a good way that the final product that we got on the Blu-ray or DVD is a better version for me, because I feel like it keeps the the minor things that we don't really need to know. But like, yeah, that's all I have to say for that.
But no, they clearly padded that movie for time, because outside of those scenes I talked about, those scenes were what was it? Annie, I think. I think it was Annie. Oh my Lord! Many times as I've seen that movie, I'm a script names, but I think it was Annie that ran in, or PJ Soul's character ran in and said to Laurie's house and said, "Oh my God, the creep's chasing us to the house." When they checked down and walked by, and that whole scene of just was pure tension, stupidness of Jamie Lee looking out the window, clearly in a wig. Like I don't even think she had a wig. She had just got out of the shower, so where her hair was a cut because H2 she had a wig on, and her towel was wrapped up, and you just sit there 5 minutes of like just her looking out the window and stuff like that, and I'm like, clearly this was awful padding. Like it was good to have out now. It's because fans want everything, but
I just kind of wish I got my hands on that Scream Factory box set Blu-ray.
Oh yeah,
that was released in 2014. Because this has all the special features, and these are the things I'm more interested in. Because as an owner, a collector, I like to watch those. It's fun. I can watch it on YouTube, but they don't have everything on YouTube. Like the Halloween 6 Curse of Michael Myers, they don't have any of that.
Yeah.
And but yeah, and it's always interesting how they nailed the mask right in '78, but then after Halloween 2, it just pretty much went downhill, and till 2018, obviously. But yeah.
That Scream Factory box set, man. I bought my first house then, and when I was still in college, and I remember when Shout Factory announced that, and I said, I've got to get this, and I lived poor for a couple days. The next paycheck. I remember it came with the lithograph and everything, and I think the lithograph's like $500 by itself. If I find mine, I know I'm going to sell it. It's with all my other poster collection.
Yeah. But, I guess hopefully at one point they'll reissue it. That'll be great. Once they release the 4K version, they'll release a Blu-ray version now too.
But Halloween 2 now, that's one I watch every year. I love Halloween 1, like I said, but Halloween 2 is one I watch every year. It was the first one I actually saw from the franchise.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which version do you prefer the most? The theatrical cut or the television
TV,
cut?
Probably TV, to be honest with you. Because like I said, I grew up watching, what was it, Joe Bob and Monster Vision on TNT and everything, and that's how I saw it.
That was what I remember.
Stick it in and watch it.
Yeah, definitely. I have a soft spot for the television cut, mainly because. But here's the thing: there's not much gore going on the television cut, but it feels more like a '78 film. Because the '78 film did not have much gore; it just had the spookiness going, and
they wanted to do that.
The TV cut has that kind of effect on you too, but also, I do prefer the ending better for that version because the theatrical one, she's all alone in the ambulance, and it feels like a sad ending, like a trauma. And I feel like for that specific theatrical version, it's like 2018 is the next film to watch because she's been through a trauma and everything. She doesn't look happy.
That's where they let Jimmy live, right? The boyfriend, he lives in the TV cut, right?
Yeah. Which I do prefer more because it's better explanation and because I'm like, what happened to him?
I get that, yeah.
I kind of wish in the TV cut they show, how the doctor died and how
Dr. Mixter and the nurse and everything,
and all that, and how the other nurse was drenched out from her blood. Oh my gosh, that's kind of spooky. If I've seen this in a room, I will probably trip and hit my head on the floor and then. Somehow I'll still be running in the hallway. That was some poor editing.
No,
on the TV cuts, I don't know if you remember, before the explosion happens, you see Jimmy running in the hallway, but that's a scene taken from way before.
Halloween 2, like I said, is the whole beginning where he's lurking around in the alleyways and that woman goes, "You want mustard or mayonnaise?" And he just walks in while it's showing and grabs a knife and goes on. Perfect. Then he goes over to the next house where the woman is screaming and the lady on the phone's like, "Oh my God, so-and-so screaming. He's probably beating his wife." And what do you mean there was people murdered? Oh my God, I hear the sirens. That's down the road from me. And then he just jumps up and writes it. And I'm like, that scares me to this day.
I still love the TV cut because I have a soft spot for nostalgia for that one. That was the first version I saw, so I'm used to that one.
I feel you.
I kind of wish they used, they mix it up a little bit with the theatrical and the TV cut so that they could make one final cut with the gore in there,
Yeah.
That's just my take on but I still think that Halloween 2 is the better sequel to the Halloween 78.
Oh yeah,
Far.
we'll get to that when the time
Yeah.
comes. Yeah. So I will say before we end on Halloween 2, it's got one of my favorite intro themes renditions of John Carpenter's original score.
Yeah.
And the boy getting a razor blade stuck in his mouth. Pure Halloween night fear.
Yeah.
Which I don't think's never happened. Like I used to research that stuff, and I don't think that's never happened. That was a big rumor. If Halloween 1 is like 0 out of like 10, like your favorite movie, there's no place for it, it's your number one. The next movie that Michael's not even in is my favorite Halloween movie, and that is The Season of the Witch.
Yes, the most favorable version of all the collectors out there, right? But
Pissed
no,
a lot of people off.
I feel like this movie is very underrated because I feel like the fans out there, they kind of forgot how, look, Michael Myers is dead in the second film. He was never
done. That was John Carpenter's story. He was done.
Meant to become one of those slasher killers like Freddy Krueger or Jason Voorhees. No, he was just supposed to be one of those Twilight Zone serial killer, pretty much. One film.
He died. He's gone. See you later.
So yeah, that was John Carpenter's way of saying, let's make a different film, because his original idea was to make a Twilight film. Like the first film was it normally. He was just wanted to make, and the whole point, not revealing anything about him too much, was the spookiness about it. And but then studios, that's what happens. But yeah, Season of the Witch, I really enjoy this film. Every year I watch it. I feel like the villain in there he has this very sinister tone of his voice when he like speaking to you. Like when he's explaining the Halloween, what is Halloween?
Yeah,
very serious tone look on him. Like he speaks to you, but it's very menacing.
Yeah,
he could also be friendly to you, and oh my goodness, that it's like things like that, little things like that, I do appreciate about films, because I feel like this is what actors are doing. This is what they're supposed to be doing, giving us to what we need to buy for.
Yeah.
Like, okay, I get it. You're a villain. I buy that for a second, yes. But if you're gonna act like for a paycheck, and you'll be like, yeah. By the way, you know what Halloween is? It's about this and this and this and that. And I was like, no. But I feel like
he did his role spectacular. Like he really took it seriously. Like he was a big actor too. You mentioned earlier that it scared you because of the hotel in the town, right? So we were talking earlier.
Yes. The Boondocks area, pretty much, and it's like it looks really dead, and that the spooky music going.
Oh, Drive to Santa Maria is an awesome track. I've listened to it today. I listen to that soundtrack probably once a week. Wonderful, phenomenal score.
Yeah, and then the beginning of the film, you see a guy running from that town, and I'm like, did you run all the way from there? Like, and then you see those androids guy in the car, taking the time in the car, and oh my goodness, it's kind of scary. I mean, it's
it was Dick Warlock, from Halloween 2. So that was
No, definitely I could tell, because I was like, there's something familiar about him. I feel like I've seen him somewhere. Oh, of course he is. No wonder. Yeah, definitely.
Well, see, it's funny because from where I'm at, that's why that movie scares me. I've been to towns like that. I've stayed in hotels like that, not with cameras out everywhere, but like I can relate to that part of the movie.
Yeah.
And old Tom Atkins, man, greatest actor ever. So what did you think? That's another good part about that movie. Was the girl a cyborg all along? Is she still alive and they made a cyborg of her? Or did they kill her and make a cyborg with her body?
That's the question that always scared me a lot, because I wanted her to live. I wanted her knowing that she was still safe somewhere, captive somewhere. I had this theory in my head that she was replaced by an android when she was at the factory, and the real her was captive somewhere, still alive.
That's what I wanted to believe too when I was watching it.
Because I'm like, if she was an android the whole time, I'm gonna be, oh, gosh, it's kind of heartbroken because I feel like, really?
But come on now, what lady watches her dad die, goes off with her dad's doctor, and has sex with her dad's doctor the first night they meet in a seedy hotel?
Yeah, well,
I mean, it's Tom Atkins, though. I mean, I don't think I could say no to that guy, but yeah.
that guy was always a player of the hospital. I feel like it's just no wonder his wife left him. Because the guy, I don't know how he got away with all that. I'm like, do you realize nowadays you'll be sued for all that?
When he was smacking the girls on the I'm like, come on, you can't even joke about that nowadays. Yeah.
But it's very difficult to say I don't like this actor because he's a good actor, like, but real guy in life, I don't know him very well, so I can't really judge that. But like,
I've met him twice. One time he was awesome. The other time, he was miserable. But then again, we've talked before about that, man. It's just if you've got a bad day, that's going to ruin someone's view of you. Thank God I met him twice and realized he was just having a bad day.
Yeah. Well, it is what it is. I mean, I remember him from Creep Show.
Creep Show, The Fog.
The Fog. The Fog.
And there's one more he played in Night of the Creeps, I think it was, where all the boyfriends come back. Yeah. He goes, thrill me every time he picks up the phone. But yeah, Halloween 3, like I said, is my second favorite in the series. Probably the first, if I didn't have to, say Halloween 1 was my favorite.
Yeah.
So before we leave Halloween 3, the hokiest part was, though, if everybody was going to die at the big giveaway, I believe it was at 9, did they not think about time change and time difference?
They did show that, but like I feel like there was just no way he could have saved them all because it was just not going to happen. And then the program went on, and at one point he went crazy and said, "Turn it off!" And
But I feel maybe it would have been on the news before every continent, state, country, whatever, reached 9 o'clock. Like, oh, turn your TVs off. So I don't think it would have killed every kid like in the world.
Yeah,
I will say that
somebody wrote a sequel script out of it because they were a huge fan of the first film, and they were like, oh, "Gosh, I want to know what happens," And the guy goes back home and he sees his kid's dead from the mask and all that, and then somehow there was an android outside waiting for him, and he went on, about to kill him and all that because there was still androids outside the factory, and so we don't really know if they all died or not.
Yeah, that's true.
There was some good stuff going on, and I was like, what a huge missed opportunity. I mean, that would have been
so many
because I wanted the girl to live. I wanted her to survive, man. Because literally, man, she was a beautiful actress. To be honest.
Oh yeah, when I was a young kid, seeing that scene and everything like that, I'm like, I hope she lives.
Yeah, it just annoys me that the fact you had to die, and it kind of reminded me of Pacific Rim 2. Like how they kill off one of the main characters for the last film. Like really, like
yeah, well.
But that's my thoughts on the Halloween 3 season of The Witch. I think it's its own film. It's a well-crafted film. But for the fans who are expecting it to be like a sequel to Halloween 2, no, it's not. It's not supposed to be a sequel to the Halloween 2. It's its own film.
Yeah.
Like Halloween, the title Halloween was supposed to be like a Twilight Zone series, pretty much. His own way of making films differently.
Yeah. There's going to be a different one every couple of years.
Because Michael Myers became such a huge hit. And that's what we got Halloween 4. The return.
Oh, yep. They got their way, and he returned a few years later. And 4 had one of my favorite intros. Clearly, that wasn't in Haddonfield. That looked like filmed in my backyard.
Like, you show a different way. I feel like I respect that more because I feel like they didn't try to copy off John Carpenter's stuff. They were trying to make their own stuff. Okay, I'm not going to copy this other artist because he did it perfectly. I don't want to ruin that. So I'm going to make my own thing, Make it show a spooky town and make the creepy music go on. It will work fine.
It was breathtaking. It was breathtaking. I love it. How they did the makeup was kind of creepy, too. I mean, they kind of somewhat followed with Loomis. Not as much as Myers, but I guess Myers wears a mask, and you really don't see that. And I know that was your favorite mask out of the whole series.
Gosh, I don't know. You know, the funny thing about this mask is that every time I was trying to craft the Michael Myers mask, I was referencing it to that one a lot. Because at that time, I had no idea. I didn't know what the difference was. I thought they were all the same. Like, it's just a simple white mask and eyebrows, black outer and lip very quickly. That's it, you know. But then I always knew there was something off about that mask. So it's like it's that thriller when he comes up from the bed, up the bed, like he has these eyebrows. And his hair is well combed, completely well combed, and
Slick back Myers.
It's just, and the guy looked a little bit too big to be on Michael Myers.
Well, that was the actor Tom Morgan. He played that part and all the way up where he was mummified, you know, with that wrap on. And that is Tom Morgan, who also played Jason in Friday the 13th Part 5 before they got George P. Wilbur to do that.
Wait, who got stopped up on the chest, you know, to make
that was George P. Wilbur, yeah. That was him, yeah, with all that stuff. And, you know, I used to beef with that mask all the time. I hated that mask. And then I'm trying to think in my head, you know, all Myers masks might not be the same. I mean, it's not a Myers mask in the world of Halloween. So Michael just might have been in that store and grabbed the closest one to him, because look how all the ones vary in, you know, in our time. You know, we go to Party City or whatever, and there's so many that look different, cheap.
They look horrible. Some of them, they look like they're trying to reminisce of the Rob Zombie mask, but they're poorly done. And the one is just weird hair, and, you know, like, it's just like, you'll expect, you know, the simplest mask ever made in this entire world is being overcomplicated.
Mm-hmm. Everybody wants to put their own view on the iconic mask if they're making the movie. That's exactly what it is.
Time, I think in the Halloween stores at the time was mostly the H2O mask available, because that was
the Don Poe. For me, growing up in Spencer's, we didn't have Spirit at the time, and it was Spencer's, and it was the Don Post 2000. Oh no, that was even before, not 2006. That was maybe the 96 or whatever. They redid every once in a while, but I know the one you're talking about with the weird afro and the hokey look and everything. But and then they tried to make one out H2O looking, and then, you know, Trick or Treat and all these custom people, you know, now you can get anything you want, which is awesome. But
no, Trick or Treat Studios, they did a really good job on the Halloween full Michael Myers mask. I think they did, because it's a very simplest mask. It's just white and shades, not detailed, just eyebrows, holes, and that's it.
So 4 was good. I mean, not to harp too much on the mask. 4 was good. Ellie Cornell's character, what was her?
Ellie Cornell as Rachel, right?
Rachel. Yep, that was Rachel. She was an awesome final girl. She was going to die for Jamie. Like, she really, you felt the love, like the bond between them.
They had good chemistry together. That was a good thing about it. I really like the way they've, you know, made her into a really kick-ass character in the film.
Oh yeah, she
fought back against Michael Myers.
Oh yeah, she fought him on the roof and everything, tooth and nail, like every bone in her body, you know.
No, it's funny. To this day, I feel like she hasn't aged. She looks more beautiful now.
Yeah, Donald Pleasance was borderline starting to get obsessed in Part 4. You know, Michael, my skull that keeps on changing on every scene. Don't you see that? I was like, yeah, how that happened? Oh yeah, that's right. Didn't have time. He had some nanobites on his face, fixing his face throughout the movie. Come on now, you know, Stark Industries, MCU. It's all in the universe now.
But like, here's the thing with Halloween 4. I feel like they had some good characterization in there, like the people you could care for. Like, I really care for Danielle Harris, who played Jamie Lloyd. I thought she was fantastic in there. Yeah. Ellie Cornell as Rachel, I thought she did fantastic. All the people which I did not care at all were pretty much like, I think Brady, the guy who cheated on Rachel.
Grady.
Like Brady, right? Yeah.
Brady, yeah.
Sacha Johnson, I think that's his name. But like, oh gosh, like I was like, you know, you got a good-looking guy, but you wasted him as a player and as an asshole. So
yeah, No problem there. He was a good-looking dude too. There's some good-looking people in that movie. He went out like a boss though too. I mean, he went out protecting Rachel and Jamie. You know,
He
when you
did
fight
try to
Michael,
redeem himself in the end, but he still
yeah,
cheated twice,
yeah.
so that didn't matter. Uh, the other actress Kelly Maker, who's Kathleen Kinman, I believe, very beautiful actress too till this day. It's just that I wish her character was more developed instead of being a slut in there.
That
But
was the best scene of the movie. No, I'm joking. Go ahead. Yeah,
I know what you're talking about. Like,
cops do it by the book.
yeah, but I still think Rachel Corrin was far more better. She had a good heart, and she was just a beautiful person.
She was probably my favorite final girl out of the whole series. To be honest with you.
And I do like how they killed off Michael in there in the end. Like, you get the sheriff and you get the whole town and he's just no more evil guys today. And they just shoot him off with this huge gun. And I'm like, oh man, that's
what they should have did in Kills, right? Evil dies and not.
No, I mean, like, literally, that's like great. But of course, they're fiery.
He's never dead. I mean, he's never dead.
My was a nice way to kill him off, like as a comeback. But we did what we could as a sequel, so that's how it is.
My favorite quote outside of Dr. Loomis throwing the blackest eyes quotes in that is that old preacher man where he's like, "You don't kill what is it? Damnation don't die like a man, or you can't kill damnation. You don't die like a man."
Like he kept saying, like, he's not human.
Yeah.
I'm like, you sound like a lunatic right now. You know that, right?
And that's, like I said, that's when he started, becoming crazy.
My God. My God. Oh, forget it. I thought he was going to have a conversation with him. And Michael was like, "Oh, that's how it is. Huh? I'm going to roll you over with a truck."
That's a good score too, though. I mean, that's one of in my top four Halloween scores renditions of John Carpenter.
I was listening to the music yesterday. I don't know if you saw in the video I was making. I actually used the Halloween 4 music in there, and then the 6 in there because I thought those music is like really catchy in there. I was like, oh man, it works fine, I think.
Well, if there's got to be a wonderful part 4, I didn't like the end of the part 4 though. I will say that the whole set me up, Jamie up as a killer.
Yeah, I thought that was unnecessary. I think they just did this because they want a sequel. So studios,
they done did that with 3. They're not gonna. Nobody in their right mind knew Jamie was going to be the killer.
Do you know if there's like an uncut version of Halloween 4? None, right?
There's a few deleted scenes. I think that's on the Blu-ray or the 4K, but there's nothing. Yeah.
I mean, not my favorite sequels, but I think it's one of the better sequels since Halloween 2.
And what happens after how awesome Halloween 4 was? We get Halloween 5. Not much of a revenge to me, but yeah.
Like, I feel like Dr. Loomis in there completely lost it in the film. Like, he became so abusive towards.
Oh yeah, the Jamie and everything, using his bait.
Like, he even talks to the woods outside at night. He's like,
"Michael, go home, Michael. We'll be waiting there for you, Michael. Go home, Michael. Goodbye."
No, and then the cop music and everything. No, I was just saying too. I think they royally messed up Rachel's character to letting her die like that.
No,
she was a survivor. She's not going to run around.
She didn't even want to be in the film for that because she was extremely disappointed. Like, if you saw the interview with her, she was highly disappointed when that happened. Because
they wouldn't let her do her original kill, which was the scissors down the throat, and she thought that was too disrespectful.
Yeah, I mean, seriously, she kicked Michael Myers' butt in Halloween 4, and how did she die in Halloween 5? She's
a survivor. Yeah, she's a survivor. She's not going to be running around naked in prison and taking a shower and everything.
Tina, I thought she was not bad. She did what she could with the script because that's how the producer wanted her. Wendy Kaplan, Tina, the other friend of Rachel, who was also
I'm just saying her character was awful. Like, I wanted Michael Myers to kill her within the first 2 minutes. I hope he would jump out in the middle of the day and just drag her in the bush.
But I do like how she sacrificed herself to save Jamie's life.
Redeemable. I mean, at least that had some redeemable, yeah.
Oh, I thought because she cared for her, and I was like, you know, those are the times, you know, when a girl wants to have fun, you know, she's still a teenager, you know, it is what it is. But like, you know, some of the other characters like Billy and Samantha,
Meat bags.
I was like, why? And then that weird nurse Patsy who gave a mouth to mouth to Jamie in the beginning, I was like, I would not feel comfortable. But yeah, I thought, but you know, Halloween 5 did have some good entertainment going on. Like I do like when the dream sequence, not a dream sequence, when Michael chases her down,
and it makes it kind of look like a dream because he's really not there. You know,
she looks around, calls her, and then she's hiding under those sheets, and then you don't know if it's Michael, or if it's just a janitor guy, and also when Michael stabs.
Oh, the laundry chute does a laundry chute.
Yeah. Oh gosh, imagine that.
That was real. He was really stabbing that knife through, and
No, I thought that was beautifully done, but
wouldn't happen today like that.
I feel like it was a wrong director, producer to be involved with that film. They should have chosen somebody else. Bring the guy from 4 back. I mean,
did you ever see the original, the new Dr. Death scene that just came out in the 4K? That gave Michael his thorn. I don't know. They just called him Dr. Death. That's what the fans named him. He really wasn't a doctor.
The guy with the okay, so he's just a random character that we
he gave him the mark of the thorn. They scrapped that scene, and then they started showing the Man in Black all of a sudden.
Here's the thing: if they're going to show the Man in Black, they should have kept that scene in because it doesn't really help much to know what is going what and who.
You're right.
And, like,
remember the interviews? Like that's what they kept saying. The director's throwing all this stuff in. He's like, it's going to be explained in 6. We're going to do it in 6. And the movie did so bad. There's no way he was going to be around for 6.
So Rotten Tomatoes has 1 out of, not surprising, 5 stars.
I was better than that. Now I wouldn't give it a 1.
And do we even need to talk about this?
Like him crying, and that never went anywhere. I thought that was going to go somewhere because remember when he was about to give Loomis the knife?
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's what it is with Halloween 5. It's like going to the grocery store with your grocery list and buying everything not on your list that's still good, but when you get home, you want more because you forgot what you wanted. That's how I feel Halloween 5 is. Like every time I watch it, I want more.
But like, here's the thing: in the beginning, like, did the homeless guy take care of him for a whole year?
That was supposed to be Dr. Death. They gave him the mark. They gave him the power. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what it was.
They should have kept this in, man. That would have.
But anyway, you know the worst problem before we go to 6. You know the worst problem I had with Halloween 5. Do you want to know the worst problem out of all in that movie?
What?
Is where Michael's in jail and he's playing with his chains. The deleted scene that we've still never got. He pretty much killed the whole sheriff's department.
I know that I saw some photos on that, but like, don't really. Again, you know, I feel like all those things you told me about, they could have made the film a little bit better for what it is, a better explanation for what it is, because at least, you know, okay, so the director is going to that direction. I respect that. He's actually explaining what those means and what these are. So, you know, but if you're not going to show any of that and we're expecting to figure it out on ourselves, I'm sorry, you pretty much failed the film.
Halloween 6, believe it or not, even with all the hokey stuff going on, it's pretty high on my list. I like it a lot. It is one of the best Halloweens that make you actually feel like it is Halloween.
Yes.
And, you know, no matter what it is, we're totally not going to talk about, you know, Michael Myers somehow inseminated his 15-year-old niece.
Let's just say that, you know, you operation in that city.
That's what I'm hoping. Like, clearly, I don't see.
I cannot picture Michael Myers unzipping his pants and actually.
Well, I mean, look what he was doing at the end of Part 5. He was getting. Okay. Anyway, new subject. But no, outside of that part, that movie was pretty good. And of course, you know about the theatrical. You know, I remember as a kid, man, when the internet like first came out, like dial-up. I don't even know if you remember dial-up or whatever, our age difference. But I saw images, like when I was pulling up Halloween stuff, and I saw images, and I found the bootleg. I paid like $40 or $50 for a bootleg DVD of the OG Halloween. They call it 666 or whatever, since it was the sixth chapter. And that was like the greatest time as a horror fan's life, watching the uncut version of that.
Mm-hmm. Halloween 6.
Yeah.
It's a good film. It's because of you I got into the Halloween 6 because you told me about it, and you told me it's actually pretty good. And I was like, really? Because I feel like I saw the trailer. It's going to be stupid like 5. I just know it. I actually enjoy myself watching 6. Like,
turn your mind off.
Like 4 and 6 are the better of the trilogy, I think. I feel like it explained a better. They try to explain what happened.
Yeah.
Within that trilogy, so I do respect that kind of storyline. I do appreciate the fact that they've actually got the mask right this time. Has some, issue going on, but it's still better, far better than 4, far better than 5, and way far better than H2O, Resurrection.
I feel like it. I mean, I know a lot of people are going to stop you there when you say it's better than H2O, but I like it better than H2O. I'm not going to lie. But, so yeah, Halloween 6 sucks that they couldn't get Danielle Harrison, especially after she emancipated herself and everything, and they only wanted to give her $1,000 to do the scene. But outside of that,
yeah, that's not her, unfortunately. I mean, I think she did her best that she could.
Yeah,
I'm not blaming the actress for that. And secondly, I feel like producers should have paid her what she wanted to, because I mean,
he's in 2 movies. She was the star of those movies. I mean let's not get it twisted.
She's been in those 2 films. She had to put up with 5. You doesn't tell me in 16 they didn't wanted to pay her more. I mean, come on.
Yeah,
she didn't need to be in those trilogies. She could have gone somewhere else, but she did. And I don't know, I feel like that was a little bit insulting. But still, I don't have a problem with her here. The actress that played her, I thought she was okay. She did what she could for what she was given.
I know she gets a lot of hate, and I've seen interviews with her that just like she apologized. She's like, I didn't even know Danielle or anything like that. I was just
come on.
The job.
It's not fair. I mean, people, you gotta think for a second. It's not the actress's fault that chooses to do things like that. It's usually the studio's fault, because first of all, if you're an actor, you're there for a paycheck also, because it's like a living. If you're not paid enough for that, then I'm sorry. Why should you waste your time on that kind of film when you could do something better than that somewhere else?
That's like old Paul Rudd. He was already in Clueless, and Clueless came out before this movie, and he was getting more famous from Clueless than this movie. It was kind of funny.
Yeah, I mean,
but
she did what she could. I still prefer Jamie actress. I think she's she's grown to be a beautiful woman too to this day.
Oh yeah, I've met her a few times and actually sit down near her and had lunch, and she leaned over and talked to us. She's a cool person.
Yeah, she looks like a cool person. I did not really like her character in The Urban Legend though, but
I forgot she was in that movie.
But the weird thing, the cult thing was a little bit weird. Like
I liked it a little bit. I liked how the producer's cut kept in the OG Halloween music and felt more scarier, where Curse added in like Creed and stuff like that. And it added more gore. The original part 6 was supposed to be a low on gore, to be like an homage to the original.
Yeah. Well, I feel like, here's the thing. Which version do you prefer the most?
Depends on the day. I haven't watched any of them this year, but last year I did watch the normal version. So this year I'd have probably watched the producer's cut. I can't pick.
I mean, I like both versions for what they have. I do like how Tommy beats the crap out of Michael.
Mm-hmm.
This is how Tommy beats the crap out of Michael.
That movie was the end of Theater Myers. They were going to start putting them direct to there's that one right there. Yeah, that was pretty cool. They were going to start putting the Halloween movies direct to DVD until we know who wanted to join in for the 20-year anniversary. And thanks to Scream, Miss Jamie Lee Curtis wanted to come back and do a movie, and it went to the theater. Scream's popularity and Jamie Lee coming back pretty much brought Michael back.
Yeah.
To the big screen. Kevin Williamson, of course, did Scream, jumped on the Halloween scene. And there was 3 pitiful masks. The CGI one, the K&B one, and the Stan Winston one. There's that one, yeah. But I do not like any of those masks. That's pretty much how it looks, that picture right there. They're all awful.
Isn't it what we used to see at the Halloween stores usually? Like this type of mask, and that's the mask.
It's like they stopped by Spencer's and got a mask, yeah.
Unbelievable. It's like and I don't like how the fact Michael is so short in there. Like the mask looks too big on him. He looks like a kid walking, like an alien.
Yeah, or like he's almost painted into the mask or whatever.
It's
and then you forgot they used the Part 6 mask in the beginning of the nurse scene.
Yeah, but that's like very forgetful, because we don't really see it too much, and that's gone. And oh gosh.
And see, that was the deal. Jamie Lee Curtis only wanted to come back if she could kill Michael. And they had a clause where they cannot inflict like beheadings or decapitations on Michael at all. Jamie Lee wanted to kill him, and they knew, like they filmed the intro to Resurrection where he was in the paramedic suit walking away. They filmed that while they were filming H2O. So even though the audience didn't know, everyone and their brother knew that wasn't Myers at the end. That was the stupidest story ever.
And how in the heck Michael survived the hospital?
That's more believable than the cop getting his voice box crushed. I guess we'll move on to Resurrection now that we're talking about it. But yeah, the whole intro of Resurrection, they stripped the final girl, the awesome person Jamie Lee Curtis was. I mean, they robbed her of all her dignity.
No, she basically said, look, listen, if I'm going to be in Resurrection, just kill me off.
That's exactly. She didn't want to do anymore. Wasn't she on for 3 or something like that again?
She got tricked in the show completely. And I don't even think John Carpenter was involved in that film at all, too, because he
wasn't involved in any of them till past 3. He wasn't involved in any of them till the 2017 or 18 one.
Yeah, like because originally John Carpenter was going to be part of the script, but he didn't want to be.
Oh no, he didn't. No, he went too much. But no, when the Resurrection where he comes through, the mask is awful. It looks like crazy hair. Like it looks crazier than my hair. And then at the beginning where he busts through the door with his head, like he's like I think you said a Hulk or something like that. And then when he runs upstairs and like he gets his foot caught in that stupid little rope. And when Jamie puts him up, and hanging him, and I'm sitting here thinking, I'm like, all right, so this is supposed to be canon with the last 3 movies. So Loomis shot him 6 times, didn't kill him. He was literally in a burning fire, didn't kill him. You did all that damage to him in H2O, but you're going to drop him 8 stories and hope that kills him? Like, if he can survive that fire, you're not going to do nothing. He's going to fall, get back up, find you. I never did get that. And Busta Rhymes is the only one that saved that movie. A lot of people hate Busta Rhymes in it, but if you go back and watch it now, Busta Rhymes saves the movie.
He was the only guy in there that actually puts a lot in there. And
yeah, like a lot of people get mad at Busta Rhymes, and I'm like, man, yeah, he made that movie, like, yeah, it was. But
like, food noises, I was like, okay.
And so you talking about work prints and stuff. Did you ever own or see the original Halloween Resurrection? Because I had that on bootleg too. This is the one where it ended with like home footage of the Myers house, and they zoomed in on Michael, and he had like the blackest eyes, the devil's eyes. That was how the real beginning went. And then at the end, that Deckard kid that was following the final girl, I don't even know that girl's name.
Yeah, that weird scenario kids.
Yeah, and anyway, so he busts through the door at the end, where Busta Rhymes busts in and goes trick or treat, mother, and saves the girl. Well, it's Deckard that busts in instead and saves her. So you got this little high school kid running past Michael Myers, picking up the girl and running out. And then they're sitting there at the end of like some like teen movie and on the fire truck, and he's like, my real name's not Deckard. It's I don't even know his name. And he's like, I'm not in college, I'm in high school. And then they had this little moment like they're going to get together and like, it was
boring to me. I'm sorry, from that script you just told me it sounds very boring, like not even watchable. It's like,
no, it's one of those movies I would watch right now as a drinking game or a joke, but like to study this and to go over this with you, that's the only one I didn't really give a care about.
I mean, there's just no saving Resurrection, no matter how you put it there, because I mean, come on, there's just too many. It will.
And still, with all that being said, I think the worst scene for me is when the guy throws pepper in Michael's eyes and it acts like it hurts him.
Gosh, the pepper thing.
I'm like, come on, man. Michael, why are you giving that chance a dude to get in a cabinet anyway? But
and how he got resurrected in the end after getting electrocuted, that made no sense whatsoever. I mean, like,
yeah, it was. Anyway, that movie just put a knife in the OG series, and it went to one of my favorite musical artists, hate him or love him, reinvented that movie in Rob Zombie's Halloween remake.
Yeah.
I almost died when that movie came out. I was there at, I believe it was, I forgot the name of the movie theater. They put up a professional ring in the main hall of this movie theater and got all the famous killers, Leatherface, Freddy, Jason, Michael, blah, 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 in a fighting match. And Jason picks Michael up and throws him off the ring into a chair where me and my friend was sitting at the time. The chair flips back. I bust my head and go unconscious. I had a date that night.
How'd that go?
I didn't even think of like Collins. I mean, I was a kid. I didn't think about suing or anything. And as an adult, I'm like, that could have been my movie theater, I mean, who's going to let, like, nowadays, there's no way they would do anything like that.
Well, live and learn,
But yeah, Rob Zombie's Halloween, that was the first date before I got married.
The thing with Rob Zombie's films, I'm not really a big fan of Rob Zombie's films. I think they're just too brutal and there's a lot of raping going on. I don't like that. But I will give him credit for wanting to try to make something different within the film. Like if he had it this way, I'm pretty sure we wouldn't have gotten a frame-to-frame replica film from the '78. We've seen that already. The ending, the alternate ending that they had for how Michael was actually going to surrender himself. Like he was listening to Dr. Loomis because to him he was like a father figure. And Loomis was like connecting with them again, and there was actually hope for him. But
that was that they made Michael redeemable. Like that original ending, didn't have all that hoopla, and Michael surrendered.
It worked really well for this type of Michael Myers.
Yeah, because that would have been good. Yeah,
and we were so used to the killer slasher with no emotion, things like that. But for this version, he still had the emotion in him. Like he still had his humanity. Like when Dr. Loomis was saying, "This is my last day with you. I can't, 15 years you haven't talked to," you could see some sadness in his eye. Like, it's like you're just abandoning me, like everyone else, right? That's how it is. Okay. And then, depending which one you're watching, the unrated or the theatrical one, honestly, just watch the theatrical one better.
The unrated one, that rape scene.
It's just no.
That was unneeded. And like when you have Michael, you root for Michael Myers to kill people. That's not. And that always bugged me how Michael Myers let Ishmael, like his best friend, he killed him. And that was his best friend. In both versions, he still did die. So I have no clue.
He just drowns him and then he smacks.
Yeah, like if he would have like messed him up and just threw him down and then walked away, I'm like, okay, but like,
dude, I would just pretended to die. Like I was drowning. Don't pretend you're alive.
Just go,
fake your death or something.
But that's easier to say than do. If it's actually happening, I guess.
But I don't know. The one thing I hate the most about those movies, especially Rob Zombie movies, is that there's a lot of corruption going in there.
I don't think he personally feels that way. Maybe he does, but there's a lot of violence toward women in that movie for no reason. How Annie dies topless and, well, she don't die, but, gets brutalized, just topless, covered in blood and everything. And
I mean, I do like how they bring back all those the actors from the past Halloween film. And I do appreciate the fact she lived in the second film, but she does, unfortunately doesn't make it. But it's, I don't know. I just did not really care for those characters in there too much. I care for the characters that were more likable was actually Dr. Loomis, Michael,
that one he was likable, yeah,
and even Michael's mom. Because I thought Michael's mom had some depth in her. And you could actually see the sadness in her, like how broken up she was in the end. She thought she lost everybody, like her family, her son, insanity, and all that, and she couldn't put up with it, and she shot herself. I do remember when the film was coming out, I was very excited for it because I was like, oh man, we got an updated version of Michael Myers, and he looks scary and menacing, and when he's like looking with those eyes, and you hear that quote, behind those eyes are the eyes of a serial killer. Like the double eyes. And I'm like, oh man, that's catchy. And I just prefer the alternate ending that we never got. If we had that ending in there, oh my gosh, you have no idea how many people will actually appreciate that film better.
No, they'd fuss. People are people. They fuss about anything.
No, but like when you're trying to make a film and you're trying to make a different film, there's a difference, because there's shit movies and there's good movies. When you try to make a film, you can see how much work they're putting into it. But when they're just making a film for money and they don't really care for it too much, you can tell definitely. Most of the slasher films these days.
It was favorable for me. It wasn't the best, but it was favorable. And then we get into Rob Zombie's Halloween 2.
Which was not really necessary.
And see, that's it. I might have told you this story before, but I'll say it again. When Rob Zombie came to Georgia, we went and saw him live out of the many times I've seen him. And I got to go backstage. And I was the last one to meet him. He's a cool dude. I mean, like, I'm not friends with him. It's not like we hit each other up on social media, but he's a cool dude. And I said, man, you did not want to do Halloween, let alone the remake. What made you? And he just did his hands like that to me. He said they backed the truck up. So he got paid whatever he wanted to do and could do whatever script he wanted. So even though I don't like Halloween 2's script, I respect,
it's a different film. Like, it's not something we've seen in the past. And the whole dream sequencing, even though that was the only homage thing in there. And I do like how Dr. Loomis comes to him and tells him, let's go to hell. Let's.
The director's cut was actually a better version that I think than the other one. I will say that.
I mean, isn't the director's cut one where Laurie is much more of a...
She's angry. Yeah, she's angry.
She's disrespectful. You don't really care for her too much. Mm-hmm. And of course, we have to mention the other actress who dies in there. Kind of sad, actually.
That was the worst death ever in all the movies. Yeah. It still bothers me. When it showed pictures of Danielle Harris as a kid, and then how Brad Dourif, the bracket character, was holding her and going, oh. I lost it, man. I lost it.
But yeah, and I'm not a big fan of that mask. Like, I don't like the fact that we see his face and he looks like a hobo who hasn't showered for years, and like the beard and the whole thing when you see, like, are we really? Is this seriously happening? Really? Come on.
Yeah, it was. Like I said, and then the whole beginning was fake. I just can't get around that. Our dream, not fake.
The beginning was good, man. You have to admit, like, if we had something like the beginning of the film, just imagine how much more we could have gotten in there. And the hospital scene. Just imagine how, it could have been great. Well, again, there's a limit to what you could do, like, I don't know, like, it's just not a film I want to watch every year or care to watch so much. It's just, I mean, I have it. I have a version unrated and theatrical, but nah. It's just the violence in there.
Well, the same thing with Resurrection. Rob Zombie's Halloween 2 killed that universe, and Michael Myers slept for almost 10 years
And we have 2018 or 2017.
Yeah.
Late 2017. Let's just say. This is what I hate about titles. Like, come on, man. Like, don't do that. Like, nobody calls Halloween 2007. We call it the Rob
Zombie's Halloween. Yeah. I get what you're saying.
Like, why not call it, as the actual original title, like Halloween Returns? That would have
been a good one. Halloween Returns, Kills and Ends.
That movie, I wanted to like that film. I was excited for that film. But
every time I watch it again, it's like I feel about 5. I want to like it more. And this is where I sound like a really like jerk. But the way Laurie is and all like that, it would have been better, and I think you've mentioned it too before, if part 2 was actually still like his sister. Because again, this sounds really awful, but he only killed 5 people and a dog. Does that really make someone like that?
Well, there was the 70s where people thought it was love and peace at that time. Well, technically not, because I'm like, have you seen Ted Bundy? Have you seen Ramirez? Have you seen
Manson?
I mean, come on. That's the thing. That's the thing that really annoyed me the most, is that there was not even the sequel to Halloween 2. Because I did not buy that. I did not buy that for a second. That, she will go loony. She will actually become super paranoid because the first film. Because if you recall the second film, she went through a huge trauma from that. Like, she was trying to recover, and then all hell happened again, ASAP. Like, she was falling asleep, but she was trying to keep up. And she had a broken leg.
Yeah, she had the broken leg, and she still went through and did all that. Yeah,
had to go through all that hell going through. I mean,
exactly.
If that was acknowledged in there, I would have accepted it.
Exactly.
She wouldn't feel the same because, I mean, that would mess up anybody's head. But like, come on, like I just did not buy that, and I hated the daughter of Laurie in there. I did not like her at all. She was a poor actress in there. I don't know. It's just like one of those actresses you want to tell her, you're fired. Get out of my stage.
And see, I like Judy Greer a lot. Like, it sucked that they kind of did that to her character, but she's a good actress.
I know she's a good actress. I've seen her in other films. I feel like her character in there was very bland. Like, there was not much going on, and who cares, But I did do like the granddaughter. I thought
granddaughter was good,
She was good, she was giving what she could. I did not care for the whole drama thing that they've stolen from Goosebumps too, by the way. The whole Halloween party where the boyfriend cheats on the girlfriend. I mean, come on. You tell me that's
I think they needed some extra time. That's a little padded out of time. I will say Halloween 2018, 17, whatever it's called, did have a really good soundtrack. I mean, that's probably the highlight that I took away from the movie. The Shape Haunts Allison is a monumental track. It's, again, I listen to it all the time.
Yeah, the positive, I will say that the music, Michael Myers, the mask.
The mask, James Jude Courtney was an excellent Michael Myers, that's for sure. Yeah.
Yes, I mean, I think they got the shape right.
Mm-hmm. I really enjoyed it.
The past films, I just feel like they got it all wrong. I mean, Michael's not supposed to be a Jason Voorhees look. He's not supposed to look like.
They redid that in their own sequel, but anyway, we'll get to that in a second. Yeah.
But he was such a normal guy, slim guy, but like he had a lot of emptiness on his face. And that was the spookiness about it, because he's like pretty much like a Patrick. I'm psychotic. I kill for no reason. I have no reason to.
Patrick's from American Psycho by any chance, if nobody knows what we're talking about.
I don't know if you remember the guy who was actually paralyzed in the hospital. His name is Patrick, and he actually has telekinesis going.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah. Now I'm the one that didn't know, but I know what you're talking about now. Yeah. No matter what you want to say about David Gordon Green, who directed, if you didn't like either of the movies, at least he loved the Halloween franchise.
Yeah, you can definitely tell he had love from even all the Halloween franchise. You can tell that he had. You've seen all those movies, and I love the fact that he takes so much from all those different films. Like we get H2O, we get Halloween 4, we get Halloween 5. We get Halloween 3, we get Halloween 2, we get Halloween 1. Come on. You know,
that was a big love letter. Yeah,
it's just the characters. The father in there.
There's peanut butter on my penis. I'm like, man, that's a stupid line, man. How did that line make it?
All those two idiot cops in the car.
I mean, they were all right, I guess. But yeah, I get what you're saying.
I'm like, are we really hearing this? Are we really watching
at this point of the movie? Yeah, you're right. At this point of the movie, do we really need to care about this? You know?
Or like, you know, or when the new Dr. Loomis apparently, because let me tell you, nobody can replace Donna Presence. It's not gonna happen.
Yeah, when he put that Myers mask on, I checked out. I'm sorry.
No, I'm like, okay, so you want to have Michael go killing spree? What about tomorrow?
Well, you can study him. You can study him. That's pretty much what it was. He wanted to study him.
Jamie Lee Curtis, you know, it's like
reversing
the shoes at the end of the final conflict. You know, like how she comes up from the shadow, like how he did in '78.
Happy Halloween, Michael. Yeah.
I do like how they reverse those things, and like she was prepared for that. And
I like that.
Pretty awesome, the whole conflict and all that. And I love how, you know, you see Michael Myers burning, and he's still looking like it's his whole obsession on him, like saying, "You're still the one who beat me again and again, but I will get you at one point. I will not stop. I will not rest. I will keep on coming and coming." And you know, supposedly this was supposed to be like how Jamie Lee Curtis kills off Michael again,
and then
you know, at the end credit we hear him breathing, and
but of course money works. I mean, I knew, like, even when the first one came out 2018, then Halloween Kills happened, and I was ashamed and mad that I had to wait another year extra, and then I got to see what I had to see.
Here's the thing, Halloween Kills had the most brutal kills in there. I do give them credit for that. Close to Rob Zombie's movies, actually.
Florida, yeah.
But like I will say, the brutal kills are pretty good. If those brutal kills were in the 2018 and substituted all those stupidity in the 2018, it would have been a better movie.
So the best part about Kills was the 1978 flashback.
Yeah. And, how he supposedly walked out and he hid back home. And
I mean, I don't like that flashback was good. I don't like how they literally flashed back the last movie, like we're dumb and we can't remember that. But the flashback was really good in Kills. But then when Donald Pleasance, that actor, that lookalike, how they did that,
killed again.
He killed it. Did he kill again? Did he kill again?
Well, dude, you know you want to kill him anyway. So what's the point?
I mean, he's done killed 6 people. What's it? I mean, it does matter, but that was just the dumbest line ever. Did he kill again? Did Michael?
He actually went back home to take a nap in there because he got tired.
And now he's up there just eating the rest of the dog, you know, from the last movie, right? Yeah.
No, but like I will say, like, the brutal kills are good. I love the beginning, the first 34 minutes of the film, and then the ending of the film. These are my 2 favorite parts of the film. But after that, the middle part, the body part, which had a bunch of stupidity, man. Do I even need to ask why do we have that much stupidity? If you're gonna make a mob, be prepared. Know how to use a weapon. Know how to use a gun. Know how to reload the freaking gun.
Yeah. See, there's so much. Like there's so much. Yeah, there's so much wishy-washy. And again, going back to the flashback, Dr. Loomis is about to blow Michael up, right? Just blows brains out. And then Hawkins comes down and stops him and says, "All I thought about was that 23-year-old boy, and he's got parents."
Well, and look, then they have to do that because then we won't have a movie.
Yeah, but still, and then the same scene. He's an honest man, but he's giving his gun to another cop to cover up a murder he just, you know, accidentally did. I mean, a manslaughter, I guess you'd call it. And that didn't make sense. There was so many hokey one-liners. And I'm going to watch it again with a few friends. And every time we hear "Evil Dies the Night" or just the word "the night," we're going to take a shot. And I'm probably going to end up in the hospital with alcohol poisoning.
I mean, and how the boyfriend came back to the granddaughter. And
My dad's going to let us join a mob. You want to go hunt down a serial killer that you just tried to do everything in your power 2 hours ago in the last movie to kill? It didn't kill him. So do you want to go out with me and try to do it again?
and then
Pokey.
you're like, look at this.
Man, that's what I was talking about. Yeah.
Why?
When that happened in the movie, so I paid $60 for me and my wife and a few people to go see this in the movie theater. My wife was sick and I didn't want to leave her home at long, so I've done wasted $60 on this movie. Pay $5 for Peacock.
Why didn't you just walk out and ask for a refund though? Like,
well, no, you couldn't. I done bought the seats and everything, and we didn't go at all because she was sick. And at first, she was feeling okay, and she was going to let me go, and I just felt bad leaving her at home. So I'm like, okay, we're not going to go. My friends went.
Now?
Huh?
Is she feeling better now?
Yeah. Yeah, it was pretty much what I got now was like a infection, viral infection in your throat. But so anyway, so I'm $65 in this movie, but it's worth it because I've been waiting to see this movie. And when that scene happens and she shoots herself, I look over and I said, I'm going to go get a drink. Do you want anything? And she's like, what do you mean? And I'm like, I just checked out. If I've got to use the bathroom, if I get hungry, if I'm thirsty, I don't mind leaving this time.
Like you would tell me it's horrible.
And I even text you in the movie, man. I've been waiting 2 years for this movie, and I'm texting you in the middle of it. I'm be like, no, man, no.
I'm like, are you surviving it?
A good friend of the family, I was texting her in the middle of it too, and I'm like, because she saw it the night before out of town with her friends, and she's like, yeah, just watch it. And I'm watching. I wrote her, and I'm like, why didn't you tell me how bad this was? Like, what is wrong with this movie? Like, no.
No, it's just here's the thing. The good things I like about it is the brutal killing in there. The mask is good. It's perfect.
The mask is probably my favorite.
Michael is great in there as usual. Like, he gets the shape right. And even when he gets unmasked, they're like, he's actually pretty good too. Like, the actor who played him is a good actor too without the mask. He actually is more also menacing, and I like that. And I love how, the mob kills him, and you hear the narration with Jamie Lee Curtis talking, like, you can't kill him with bats, you can't kill him with guns, he has already a scent and all that.
See, I didn't like that part either. Really? I guess I'm a hater. Yeah, it's like,
I just love how he fights back and he just kills off everything.
Oh no, that part was like eye candy. But don't you remember in interviews they're like, well, we're taking Michael Myers back to when he was just a human back in '78, and he's just old guy. And I'm like, nah, you're going to do that.
He's pretty much a saint to.
Yes, and I'm like, that's hokey, but okay. Like, now you've made him a mythical creature, and that's what you wanted to go away from, and now you did it. But again, and I've said it 3 times tonight. Long as they keep making these movies, Myers is relevant. We're getting cool figures, stuff like that.
We may end up getting another sequel based on Halloween '78, or who knows, on Halloween 4, or who knows, Halloween 3, or who knows, Halloween 2. It's gonna
they can do anything they want nowadays, yeah.
Like, I don't know. Halloween Kills, it could have been better.
So
like the killings in there better. There was more gore in there that we should have gotten in 2018. Because at this point right now, people are expecting gore and bloody and everything.
Yeah, you can't.
Because we've been
can't make everybody happy.
Like, now, if you give us like a Halloween 1978 again, it's not gonna work well nowadays, especially in this modern time, because people will be like, nah, there's no blood in there. Yeah, people are very ignorant these days, but the thing is, we're trying to make a film here. Like, we're trying to make a good film, simple film, and you would expect this film not to make any money, but this film exploded completely. Yeah. Like, it's kind of like Night of the Living Dead, 1968. When it first came out, it was not really famous, but then became a classic.
Real quick, since we've talked about them, can you rank them really quick, or can you do that?
Yeah, sure. I'll tell you right now. Halloween 1, Halloween 2, Halloween 3, Halloween 4, Halloween 6, both cut in theatrical one. I like them both. Then Halloween 2018, Halloween 5, Kills, the Rob Zombie movies 1 and 2, Theatrical 1, not the unrated version, not worthy at all. Resurrection.
All right. Well, so real quick, since I've got to pick one as one, it would be 1, 3, 2, 4, 6, 2017 or 18, H2O, 2007.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, 2007, then 5, then Kills, then Rob Zombie's Part 2, and last but not least, well, definitely least, Resurrection.
No, Resurrection is still the underground movie that nobody should even bother watching. I mean, it's just a garbage film, to be honest. There was no plot in there. There was no plot. Anybody could be in the film.
Oh, well. But
it is what it is. We got what we got. Who knows? If the Halloween Ends is actually a good film, then maybe Kills will be more acceptable. Pretty much how I watched 78, and then I have to watch Halloween 2 right after.
Yeah.
Because for me, these are the completion of the film.
Yeah.
And my mind, I still think Halloween 2, 1981 is the better sequel of Halloween.
Yeah.
I mean, at least they got the mask right in there.
Yeah. I still think, too, that timeline's a little bit better, the sister.
Support Geekroom Life's channel and everything. He makes great reviews, too. And support my channel, Kaiju Storm, and Kaiju Collectors page, Facebook, and Monsters with Attitude YouTube page.
And it's been great talking to you. I hope next time we don't have to wait as long, but work's been good, which makes me have, not a lot of time to do stuff.
Yeah, I mean, definitely. I mean, always nice having you here. Hopefully on our next podcast will be, schedule better too. And
I hope so.
And yeah, that was it. Have a good night.
All right, you too, man. Bye.